Hello guys, let's talk about interviewing another people. One person interviews another person. So let's talk about interview process. There are many interesting scenarios in that. Many interesting questions. Those questions is, do you need to spend 5 hours interviewing a person, spending 5 hours and 5 men just to interview one person, making him stressed, going through all this hassle and then being wrong that you because you think that you're right, okay, this guy didn't couldn't come up suddenly with some idea and got stressed and couldn't finish some coding interview or couldn't finish some task or couldn't didn't answer properly to some question anyway. uh, so you spend like a day interviewing a guy, or maybe like a week actually, because you involved five person to interview him, so it's like a 1 week to pay for one man, right? So my question is, maybe it's better just to interview this guy for 5 minutes and let him work with you for 1 week and see if he works for you or not, or she. This kind of questions, I think interesting. Also, another thing, quite often you come to interview and the guy who is interviewing you, he's just from university and he coming up with all these beautifully structured questions, and you answer to this question like in short, but that's not enough for him, right? Because he just needs to know exactly how he has seen this in the book. Then you go further and further. At some point it become funny, and but the humor is not there, right? This humor is not mutual, and then interview kind of goes down. Well, it goes down. The interview process is bidirectional. It goes down both sides, meaning that those guys, meaning that the company missed the guy who might be talented and good enough for this company, or even better. And the guy also missed this company because theoretically this company is good and it would be nice for him to work here, but there is that guy from university who interviewing, who leading the interview, and it happens sometimes. Well, you said, well, if you're a professional, you're supposed to know that this is that guy. Uh, you're supposed to know that this is the guy from university, and you're supposed to behave properly. But it's life. Sometimes you cannot. Um, and so that's why I'm raising this maybe a rhetorical question for myself, honestly, that people should review the interview process. People should take it more seriously. Maybe maybe it should go to recruiter shoulders, but again, right? You're supposed to trust the recruiter. Like how a recruiter could possibly know that this guy 100% is good? But maybe 1 week is enough, just because this week will be specifically dedicated for him. So you will uh, pay attention to this person for that week, and he'll be working with several team members, and then you build the opinion, right? So the process itself of getting to know the person will be shifted in time. Anyway, so in these videos, I'd like to discuss this kind of problems, this kind of scenarios. I have quite a few examples from my personal experience and experience of my friends as well, the one that I know who work in same industry as I do, whether they employee, contractors, uh, or someone else, or someone who's worked for many years and then struggling to find a job just because he was not prepared, or she was not prepared for interview, right? Because if you work in real environment, if you're working with real problems, uh, and you go to interview, you most likely will not pass it just because you have to be prepared for interview. But if you're prepared for interview, you're not necessarily a good worker. You're not necessarily a good guy, not proper guy for this company. Just because you've been just prepared for interview. Maybe you're just doing this the whole day. And honestly, there are like a 50 questions that you have to cover. You can learn them by heart and pass any interview, honestly. I can pass any interview if I want to, but I just don't want to pass to spend that much time, right? And it's not about me, okay? Don't get me wrong. It's not about me wanted to get some new job or something like that. It's just interesting topic, and this topic pop-ups in my head every time, so every so often, right? So I'll cover these topics, and I hope you will enjoy it. Thanks.